Let's take a look at Salman Khan and his book, The One World Schoolhouse. By trade, Khan was a hedge fund manager before an experience tutoring his niece and creating educational videos which gained traction propelled him to become the founder of Khan Academy, a free online video learning resource visited by thousands of people every day. Khan uses his experience in building this website and its software to extrapolate a broad theory on teaching he thinks could revolutionize education. He begins his book by explaining how he entered the field of teaching. After his niece failed a required exam in mathematics, Khan tutored her until she was able to retake the exam and easily pass. During this experience, Khan stumbled upon some effective teaching strategies through his trial and error methods. Khan's tutoring strategy was to refuse to let her guess or simply not know an answer, but to instead allow her to ask for an explanation again and again and again until she was able to understand. This is the root of Khan's teaching ideal. See, in Khan's view, the traditional Prussian model of education, the style in which we separate students into batches and subjects into separate classes taught in designated periods of time, is designed with efficiency, not the student in mind. This is the same style of teaching Sir Ken Robinson talks about in his Changing Education Paradigms TED Talk, link in the description. This method allows for what Khan describes as Swiss cheese learning, and it pushes students out of a class without regard for what they've gained from it. This allows for gaps in a student's understanding. A student who earned a C can pass while not having a grasp on a quarter of the material. Khan takes issue with this. In his book, Khan presents an alternate method of teaching, designed with effective student benefit rather than efficiency in mind. Khan's idea revolves around an ideal educational world in which students aren't grouped by age, learn at their own pace, often through video lessons with a discussion and help facilitated by the teacher, and learn skills conceptually to a point of mastery before moving to the next concept. Because, metaphorically, how can you build a house with part of the foundation missing? Khan gives us some examples of experiments in which his ideas have been taken into account, and students have learned largely through his website, and these tests have shown promising results. But Khan's thinking is largely idealist, as he advocates for mixing all ages and expecting older and more advanced students to teach those struggling, for a world in which college is optional in obtaining a degree, and classrooms in which there are as few as 3 teachers for up to 70 students. While some of Khan's methods, such as teaching across the curriculum, teaching material conceptually, and allowing students to pace themselves according to their own needs, are wonderful ideas, he anticipates much more competence and cooperation from students than is realistic, and doesn't seem to consider the need for order, discipline, and focus, or really any of the practical issues a teacher might face. Still, there are a number of points to be had in Khan's writing. Students do have a tendency to leave school without much real-world applicable benefit from what they've studied. Classrooms would benefit greatly from more collaboration and peer-to-peer tutoring. The rigidity and constant forward pace of a classroom is also unnatural in effective learning, and Khan's points on a more loose and self-paced style of education are something to be seriously considered by teachers. If we break Sal Khan's ideas down to brass tacks, we have a number of methods that teachers should seriously consider. Maybe Khan's ideal world is a bit unrealistic, but if we take his thoughts and apply them in a broader context, we may just have a formula for improving education systems in America and the world.